at the beginning of August, after we'd completed our Gold Cup activities, to begin the evaluation and the assessment of all of the players that would be eligible through the age group within Grenada. And that plan was put in place, but it was derailed due to the COVID issues, lockdown. We were reaching out to our member clubs to try and get direction and assistance in that process. But at the end of the day, what we did is we worked through a virtual process to identify these players. I'm very happy and very pleased with our staff here on island. Anthony Modeste, Jake Rennie, Desmond Knoll, who spent a lot of time within their communities, within the parishes, to speak to their specific club contacts. So we were able to identify the appropriate players to begin that assessment. We also shared physical preparation activities through Jake Rennie, who oversees our physical preparation program. And so we shared that with all of the players so they could do their own work on their own to prepare themselves when we could get together.
Okay, finally you got 26 of them in camp and you were training with them. Now that team is broken down to, let's say, 20 players. Now, I know normally having more game time was something that you would like to see. Now, what difficulties did you have? Are you having any, how was it like, I should say, not having a game time yet for choosing that particular team?
Yeah, I mean, what we did is we did some assessments, as I say, within the regions under the conditions that we were allowed to do that, which was in some small-sided match play and some large formats. When we finally got to the point where we felt comfortable with the 26 that we brought into our activity bubble, what we've done is we've designed the program around getting them physically prepared, and doing that through match play within the group. That's why we had 26, so we could run 11v11 type activities, so we get a good idea of how they are in the large format. At that point, it also gives them an opportunity to play games, which we have been doing within the bubble. So that is the best way that we see at this moment in time to come to where we've selected the 20.
Okay, that's wonderful. So your 20-man squad. Okay, I know now it's a challenge for any coaching staff just to pick 20, because there are lots of great players coming through your camp. So the composure of the team, what is it like?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, you have to remember that we're dealing with U20 level of player. And that means that the development line is never straight. You know, it goes in dips and curves. So there could be players that are not in this 20, but exist within the GFA's football environment that may come back and be part of this team. As I said, it is not an exact science. But what you do is you evaluate your talent and these players' competency at this moment in time to deliver what we wish to deliver. What we're looking for is a balanced squad. We have our specific way we wish to play, which is a mirror image of what we're doing with our senior players. This group is very important to the future of Grenadian football and the senior men's team. We're at the bottom of the cycle. The next cycle that we're looking at is from now towards the 2026 World Cup qualifying. Now we have to start, now we have to put the time in. And to do that, we have to onboard these players with our game model, our culture, our standards, our competitive requirements, and all the details that go along with that. So this is a great opportunity to begin that process.
Your team, the final 20, tell us more about it. Is it all new players, or do you have a mixture of players who were national players before, or just all new players? Yeah,
there's a really a good mix. I can say that out of the 20, for example, there's 11 different clubs represented in that group. There's no one dominant club, which is, I think, very important, because quite often selections are dominated by one club's influence. What we did is that's why we went and used parish contacts to make sure that we got a good idea of exactly who we thought could join the group. So we've got an 11 club representation. Average age of the team is about 17 and a half. You have to be born in 2003 or younger to be in this group for the U20s. And from that point of view, we feel we've got great representation. We've got really strong youth. And inside the squad, we're very lucky to have 2 players who are with our senior men's team in Benjamin Yetin and Trishan, our goalkeeper. And they have been spending time. They were in the Gold Cup group. They traveled with the Gold Cup group. Benji played a number of matches within the Gold Cup. So that gives great amount of experience to this group. Okay. We also have a number of players who were involved with the U17 program prior to that. When we have some of those players who were involved with our on-island activities. And then there's the new players, which is the most exciting part, is unearthing new talent.
Okay. And most of them, as you said, they're under 20 and they're in school. How challenging has it been, the training sessions, having them in camp and still doing the online classes? How has that been for you all?
Well, actually, it's not been a real problem because we're keenly aware of what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with the development of young men, and those young men have to continue their education. It's a paramount part of their overall development. I've always said about footballers, the game today in the world is demanding a smarter player. And a smarter player must understand the process of education, the process of study, which then translates into his football environment. So we've designed our schedule and our program that they have schooling in the morning. We have meetings in between, and then we move to our training session. So we've balanced that environment out to make those requirements.
That's wonderful. So we're not going to keep everybody waiting any longer.
Okay.
I know they want to know who are the 20 players that will be representing Grenada. So just going to put everyone's attention to the screen and run the 20 men who will be representing Grenada at the CONCACAF Under-20 Championship next month.
Being a Grenadian means having courage, tenacity, and unbreakable willpower. It means knowing that our size does not determine our capacity to achieve greatness, because even the biggest tree starts its life as a small seed.
Sun and rain, we're here again. Been training too long, we're not afraid.
Like on we back, we here to stay. I hear them chanting and I hold we name. Let's go, let's show that we believe. Show the world that we belong. The strength, the heart, the fight in me. Show the world that we belong. I believe in me.
I believe in me.
Let's go, let's show that we believe. Show the world that we belong.
So there you have it, guys. The 20-man squad will be representing Grenada. Our coaching staff who is well capable again. Coach, as you said before, a well-balanced team, as I can see. Tell us, what are your expectations for this tournament, going to this U20 Championship tournament?
Well, this is a transition period, obviously, for this age group. They are now entering that process and that level of competition that winning becomes a priority. We're not talking about developmentary football, grassroots football, where it's about moving players through the system. This is now about identifying players who we think can compete at this level and who will be able to provide the proper performance to win matches. So, ultimately our goal is to get out of this first round of qualifying, which will then qualify us for the second round in June, where we'll enter the other level of qualifying with the other nations in CONCACAF. Some of the big boys on the table, the Mexicos, the USAs of the world, the Canadas, the Costa Ricas, the list goes on. Yes. So this tournament in the Dominican Republic is all about moving out of this first round of qualifying.
Okay, thank you very much. Also with us, our president, Chenny Joseph, he's here with us, but he's on Zoom. So he too will give a few comments regarding the national team who has just been presented. Okay, seems like our president just dropped out, but he'll join us back whenever it is necessary. So, Coach, thank you. I know the media may have some questions they want to ask you. So right about now, we'll just entertain some questions from the media.
Coach Gerard Joseph, GBN, you would have highlighted 20 players. Is it all local, or is it a mix, any foreign-based?
No, all of the players that currently came into the the preparatory camp of 26 were Grenadian based, and the final 20 is all Grenadian based. We felt strongly at this point that the quality that we feel existed within Ireland was something that we wanted to initiate in our first round of qualifying. We are keenly aware of some players that are in existence outside of the island who are participating in other programs around the Caribbean, the United States, Canada, the UK, Europe, and our hope is as we move forward and travel restrictions are lifted, an opportunity to get more information about those, that'll make it a much more competitive situation moving forward. But currently it's an all Grenadian based squad.
And in terms of the group for Grenada, has that been done? What group are in? Who are our competitors?
Yeah, we've been placed in a group with Curacao, Dominica, Saint Martin, and the British Virgin Islands. You know, the reality of this level of football, and given the challenges that COVID has given football globally over the last number of years, it's very hard to get an idea of exactly what these teams will be looking like. It's very hard to get information on them because obviously there's been very limited play. But you can see that once you're at this level of play, you're going to expect a very competitive environment and a very difficult environment because we have to play basically a game, a rest day, and a game over the cycle of the tournament. So this is all going to be about the balance of the squad, the physical preparation of the squad, and the ability to go from game to game.
You would have highlighted that just like the senior men's team, the under-20 is basically in a startup mode. They're basically the future of Grenada in terms of football development, in terms of participating maybe even at the next, well, not the next, but the one after World Cup. We had expectations for Gold Cup and etc. Those competitions, we weren't able to really stamp our mark or even able to qualify. What sort of, though we have expectations, with the limitations that we have with training, is that a hamper? Do you see or foresee us even doing much better than Gold Cup, winning a game, not just scoring a goal, but winning a game and getting out of that group, just as you were highlighting as one of your goals?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, you know, your expectations when you're dealing with national team football is always to win football matches. But I think if we're being truly realistic, we have to understand that this is a long-term program that we've entered into. And the vision of the GFA and its senior men's national team is to build a program, not participate in events. And so this is part of this program. As I said earlier, we're at the bottom of the cycle. I was pleased with our performances in the Gold Cup. Certainly I'm disappointed in the results of the Gold Cup, but I was pleased in terms of how far we came as it relates to our game model, our structure, our support system off the field, our program, and dealing with the players that we were dealing with, the additional players that we added from a nationalizations project, which was about 6 players. It gives us a really good indication of what we have moving forward into this next cycle. Nations League is our goal in 2022 in June. We are participating in Group A, and it is or League A, it is our expectation that we will remain in that group, which would then qualify us for the 2023 Gold Cup. So we're building towards that by doing strong under-20 programming, and then we have 2 FIFA dates in 2022 in the build-up to the Nations League.
You spoke about the bubble. What is the atmosphere like in terms of camaraderie between the players? And just give me a timeline in terms of when does the team leave, the dates for the different games, tournaments, and when we are expected to return home.
Yeah, inside the bubble, yeah, I've been really pleased with the players' attitude, how they've come to the table in very difficult circumstances. Most of these players are very new to me, but we have, as I say, experience in our coaching staff, in Anthony and Jake, and in Desmond, who know a lot of these players, which gives us a good indication of their personalities, traits, and how they deal with the stressors of being inside an international camp and having to do multiple things at once, schooling, learning off-field, going on-field, recovery, all of those situations. But the atmosphere inside, given that it is challenging, is very good. They're very buoyant, they're very excited, and they've made it very clear to us that they have their own expectations of having success. So we look forward to them applying that when we get there. Dominican Republic will depart on Friday. We'll enter the DR a number of days early so we can continue our preparation in the DR. And then our first match will take place on November 5th. And as I say, we generally play, the schedule calls us to play 1 day, rest day, and then play. And you can, all the way through until I think our last match is on the November 13th versus Curacao.
That's about it for me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jared. Is there any other questions from the media? No? Okay, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much, everyone. Coach, any closing remarks from you?
No, I'm just very excited for us to be in this tournament. It was touch and go, would be for obvious reasons, and we are. We look forward to representing Grenada like we always do. The players are very excited, and we look forward to a positive tournament.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for viewing, and thank you for joining us again for this press conference. And we look forward to a very exciting match in the DR from the U20 Spice Boys, and wish them all the best on their journey. Thank you.
Being a Grenadian means having courage, tenacity, and unbreakable willpower. It means knowing that our size does not determine our capacity to achieve greatness, because even the biggest tree status life as a small seed.
Sun and rain.